So we're in the middle of a dark war. Okay, this is what concerns me most right now. Now, obviously, you have Putin with the anti-West, right? Where, you know, there are some valid points with NATO expansion and all the vaccine bullshit and everything else that the West has been bullshitting with Greta Thunberg and all that other shit. Everyone should be trans or whatever it is. Right? And then you have the West, which is supposed to be democracy, but then it turns out to Balenciaga pedophiles or whatever else. So you got these crazy forces, authoritarian dictator scum and pedophile bullshit on the other side. And we really don't know where to be. You know, one of the things you hear is that with all the money we sent to Ukraine, some people, some sources I have, Monaco and all the rich places of the world, they got all the Ukrainians coming in with crazy money. They're siphoning off crazy amounts of dollars in corruption. And we're in a dark war because things are happening behind the scenes that we don't understand. For instance, right, where do we go? Right here. So what you have here is a defense factory, a drone factory of some sort, reported engine oil refinery. There's so right. So what do we have? What's the dark war, right? Because it's an actual war. On the other Wednesday, the FAA had to ground airplanes that were under some sort of cyber attack. Russians are doing cyber attacks nonstop, serious ones, to serious infrastructure, trying to do some real damage. Iran and North Korea providing weapons, so on and so forth. Israel just hit some locations in Iran behind their borders. Those Iranian people tried to do their revolution. They failed. They got stomped out with authoritarian shit. Now Israel's going after him. Israel's being paid to do that, of course. So somebody is really trying to push on Russia. The worst thing about it, of course, is that right now the United States is sending Abrams tanks. So after almost a year of war in Ukraine, now they're sending him tanks. They're waiting until they're getting rocked by missiles to send them air defense. They're waiting this. So this is a recipe for catastrophe, because I guarantee you, if we would have sent them Abrams tanks, anti-air defense missiles, and a bunch of other shit, and drones and everything else in the beginning, before the war started, there wouldn't have been a war. But Russia saw that they were being abandoned, then they went in. Now they're giving them little by little, and now it's a desperate struggle between these shadowy West figures who we don't know who the hell is pulling the strings behind Biden, and Putin and all these other characters, Iran and all these other actors. Not a good place to be. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Iran is fantastic and Putin is right and this Western Greta Thunberg bullshit is also fucking right. I'm not telling you any of that, okay? What I'm telling you is that we're in a dark war and it's getting serious because Israel, the U.S. currency is being sent out all over the place. It's being weaponized in essence. And there's counterattacks coming in. But so far, Putin doesn't have the balls to fight a war that he knows he's going to lose. Right? He ain't going to throw everything at you and nuke and do this and do that and do that. Not yet, at least. Because he had his eye on victory. But Ukraine is a battleground. There is no victory in that war at this point of time. It's just a bunch of dead soldiers and a destroyed economy and a destroyed nation. And Russia is already secretly selling gas back to Europe on the back end and this and that and Iran here and there. So it's in a stage where all of these cowards are slinging mud at each other. And it could get hotter. I hope it doesn't. It doesn't necessarily mean that it will or that it is. But it is intensified to a certain state where these nations are trying to destroy one another. And there's also food plants are being destroyed in certain circumstances. It seems as though it's a big setup to a big game, but we could be wrong. It could be just a bunch of mudslingers. Unfortunately, the bottom line, there's nobody to trust. There's nowhere to turn inside of this dark war between dictators and pedophiles.